Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. This is episode number 42. Everything turned blue in today's episode. Am I a poet and I didn't even realise it? Basically, the UCL stuff came out, didn't it, on FIFA 20 on Tuesday night. So I wanted to get involved with that. Do me a massive favour at the start of this episode. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's go for 4,000 likes today. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so you never miss an upload and all of that good stuff. But yeah, I wanted to focus on everything UCL related from like the Tuesday night drop. So we've got the UCL group stages, objectives. We've got UCL marquee matchups, other SBC that was called something that I can't quite remember, and just all of that stuff really. So that is going to be the main focus of today's episode. So UCL marquee matchups is where we start. Luckily, I had everything in my club ready and good to go. I had untradeable Galatasaray players. Literally had 3 untradeable Galatasaray players. So I don't even know if their price rose like crazy. I didn't even have to check. I literally already had 3 in my club, which was great news. And then when it came to Ajax versus Chelsea, again, I already had players in my club. I think we end up going with 2 Chelsea players who I think are untradeable. We're going through the squad right now. We'll be able to have a look in a second. Were they untradeable? Ooh, Kovacic, untradeable. Oh, Giroud was tradable. Damn it. I don't know if Chelsea players went up in price or anything, but I do have one spare Chelsea and 1 spare Ajax player that I think I will eventually sell, maybe for tomorrow's episode or something. But yeah, for that, we end up getting a small Prime Goal Players Pack as the overall reward, but a couple of half-decent ones for each of the challenges. So, we will start off with the small Prime Goal Players Pack, then we'll go to the Rare Gold Pack, and then we'll go to the Premium Gold Players Pack. So, from the first one, are we going to get absolutely anything? We actually get ourselves an inform, which is something that I haven't packed for a while now. We get an Atlanta centre mid who goes by the name of Malinovsky. 82 overall rated. Actually doesn't look too bad. Quite well rounded, to be fair. But when I had a little look at his price on the market, he was about 11k. So we're just going to go ahead and I think I move him to the transfer list for now, but I'll stick him back into the club. And you never know when someone like that is going to be useful. We could either submit it into an SBC or we could sell it if it went up in price. It's a first owner centre mid from Serie A as well. So, you know, why not keep it? Second pack, we get Dani Ceballos. Not amazing, but we do get a Rebic, who people are saying is a good player to try and do different objectives with. So we'll keep him. You know, he's obviously now in the Serie A. And then the third and final pack, we do get boards. We get German centre forward, which is not what you want to see when you get actual boards. If it's a walkout, then fine. It could maybe be Royce, unless he's a cam. But yeah, like at that point, you know it's going to be Cruz, which in the Turkish league, he doesn't really sell for much. He's just an 83 overall. When you get just boards and you get German, you just want it to be like Niklas Süle or someone like that, you know, someone that sells for a little bit more. So the first thing I needed to do, because I got no blue players from UCL marquee matchups, was I needed to score 6 goals in division rivals. So that is the first thing we're going to do, because what that's going to give us is a UCL 2-player pack, both of which are going to be common or non-rare players. And from there, we can then tackle the next objectives. And then after we've done that, we can use those common players in the other SBC. So there's a little bit of a method to the madness today. You have to do everything in order. And you got to kind of hope for a little bit of luck along the way as well, which I'm telling you right now, we don't actually get. So if you don't get luck, you're going to have to go on the market and pick up a UCL player. But as you can see there, we actually scored ourselves a free kick. Neymar hitting a topspin free kick and then hitting him with the elbow drop. I've been doing this celebration non-stop. I'm sorry in advance for any of you that annoys that I just do the same celebrations over and over again. But yeah, since I unlocked that from the season pass, I've just been doing that one non-stop. But yeah, we end up going 3-1 up in this game, and that is going to cause a rage quit from Ed Milibanta. Amazing name. But yeah, like 3-1 after 30 odd minutes. It means that we've got half of the 6 goals that we already needed. We can move on into another match and hopefully we'll get them we'll get them goals in the next match. We're also pushing our way up towards rank number 2 in Division 4, which obviously I do want to stay in. I want to get up to rank 2 and then hold it, which is never the easiest task. It does require over 20,000 points worth of playing Rivals, which is a fair amount, but there's normally enough stuff for me to do to warrant playing that much. I actually score a header in this match here, as you can see. Whip it in and whipped in the cross, and Royce is there to just nod on. And that was actually a lovely header. Now, I've tried that since about 40 times, and every single time the header's gone like up there, or it's just sort of brushed off his head and fallen to the ground. Like they are so random. It just every now and again you'll hit one that's good and it feels right. I just hope they maybe buff the headers just a tiny bit to make them a little bit more useful, because even when I'm trying to do defensive headers, I find myself just like not knowing what the hell's going on, really, to be honest. But I brought Rashford on in this game because there was one of the weekly gold objectives to score with someone with a 3-star weak foot that had like over 85 pace or something. So glad that we actually got the goal with Rashford there. It didn't have to be on his weak foot, I don't think, but we actually ended up scoring with the weak foot. So that's going to give us some XP, which of course is going to help us on our way. I don't really know. There's a lot of the weekly gold objectives that I miss out on each week. And I don't know if that's going to be the difference between me not getting Zaha or whatever, or me getting Zaha. So I don't know how many I'm going to miss out on. And at this stage of the game, I think that the players that are level 30, the Zaha, Tolisso, and Lucas Vazquez, I don't think any of them are really getting into many people's starting 11s. So if I ended up missing out on them, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But obviously, it'd be nice to unlock probably a Super Sub Zaha or something. So from our 2 common golds, we get one of them's a goalkeeper. That's not great, is it? We get Carnesis from Napoli. And then we open the pack, hoping for someone that we can actually use in our squad. And it turns out to be another goalkeeper. So that's about as unlucky as you can get, really. So I had to actually go out and buy a player that I could use in my squad. So we went and bought Serge Gnabry for 18,000 coins. That was the lowest one on the market at the time, a few hours after it had been out. And essentially, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start the team like this. So the next couple of objectives are as follows. I need to win 2 games of Rivals while starting 2 first owner UCL players. So I have to start the 2 goalkeepers, and then I also have to score 2 goals or score in 2 matches with a UCL player. But that one doesn't have to be first owner, hence the purchase of Serge Gnabry. So yeah, that was basically it. So when we go into the game, I do play the 4-1-2-1-2, but off comes Lewandowski and off comes the 2 first owner goalkeepers, and then we bring on Semedo, bring on Oblak, and we bring on probably Goretzka to replace so we have another centre midfielder. And then up front, we're going to be playing Neymar and Gnabry with Royce at cam. So yeah, it was just going to take me a few games to get this stuff done. There are certain people doing lots of different types of challenges. So some of the teams I came up against were relatively normal. Some of the teams I came up against were crazy with Ronaldos and Mbappes and all sorts in them. But that is just Division Rivals. I've seen a whole lot of chatter on social media about objectives being in Rivals and how they could do it differently and stuff. So yeah, it's been a really interesting discussion, because I know we've talked about it before, saying that Rivals isn't really the best place to put objectives, because 1, it means that people in higher divisions can relegate themselves to make it easier on themselves, and 2, like, you don't always come up against like-minded people that are trying to do objectives. And if you are in a higher division where less people care about doing the objectives, then you might just come up against Hullits and Ronaldos and Neymars and Mbappes, and people don't actually care, but you're sat there trying to score with a silver player with 43 pace or something, you know? So there are a few different ways. I don't know if it could be implemented into FIFA 20, but there's a lot of chatter on social media about different ways that would be correct. So interesting thoughts. What do you think, actually? You can let me know down below in the comment section about what you think about like objectives within Rivals, or where you might actually place them, or what is the best way to do objectives for the future. It'd be interesting to know, and maybe I can feed some of that back to the right people. So I end up conceding in this next game right here. He scores with his UCL player, so I'm like, oh, God, I wish I could score with my UCL player, and I actually do. I get back stick to Serge Gnabry, and he scores the goal. So now it's just a case of trying to win this match, and then we're you know, killing two birds with one stone, essentially. But he does have Mbappe. And I did realise that Mbappe is actually quite a good player. So we end up getting a 2-all equaliser here. He scores down the other end with Mbappe, who like is so difficult. When he sprints at you or accelerates past you or trying to make space, he's very agile. I would love to have Mbappe alongside Neymar. It's going to be a few weeks before that sort of thing could even happen, and we would have to gut the team in order to do so. But it would be very nice, wouldn't it, to have those two? It would be absolutely ridiculous as a strike force. We go 4-3 down to a very unfortunate goal. Like Royce just sort of ends up getting a bobble off the goalkeeper and it bounces off him and into the net. Go 5-3 down. So this game's kind of got away from us. I did score a late goal, but of course at that point he just literally held possession in the back to see out the win for himself, which is totally fine because that's, I guess, what I would do in that situation. So we got the goals with Gnabry, but we didn't quite, you know, make it happen for the win. So if we can do it, if we can score with Gnabry in this match and win this match, we will have got all of the challenges done. So we push through with Gnabry here. I hit a red time shot because for some reason the delay was atrocious. And I actually end up scoring it. So that's fine. That's one part done. Now we just need to win this game. And as you can see, I just take it super easy with Neymar. He was through on goal. I just didn't want to miss. So I hit a nice composed finish towards the end there. And we're 2-0 up. Make that 3-0 up with a lovely chip from Marco Reus, who is really getting into it now. Like, playing him central cam has been a godsend. We've literally managed to like light a spark in our Marco Reus card, because before that he was just wasted out in that left mid spot. Now I did let my opponent get his cross goal because he'd been trying it all game. I mean, I was 4-0 up, but I figured he would just like let the game play out. But no, he decided to then really try hard and get back into it. So your boy Lasty held the ball for a little bit, and I tried to score one more goal, but it didn't quite work out for us. But we eventually win the match and get the goal with Gnabry, which means that we complete all of the UCL objectives. So that's good. We're going to complete League of Lights. We're going to complete the Champions. And then we're also going to get a Prime Gold Players Pack for completing the overall set of objectives. So these were actually pretty good. I really like these. It was a little bit tough because I got two goalkeepers. It made it a little bit tough, but buying the Gnabry helped out a bit. So if you get as unfortunate as I do, know that you can take your first owner players off to begin with, and you can just go and buy someone on the market to score the goals with. But we get ourselves a Portuguese centre mid from Lille that is going to be a 75 rated player. I think I've got one of the most unlucky sets of pack pulls from these Blues so far. Yeah, we get Renato Sanchez, who actually isn't the worst player in the world, but I don't know if I'm ever going to use him. But yeah, when we're going to get a rare blue player and we end up getting a 75. It was just unfortunate. And then nothing from the second pack here. Who do we end up getting? Is it oh, it's a player I don't know. Arbilla. Yeah, it's again not a very lucky pack. My regular packs, I know I got amazing reds last week, don't get me wrong, but my regular packs have sort of fallen off. I'm wondering where this red list luck has gone. Like, what's going on? I need that to be refreshed. It's like someone's cleared the cache and all of a sudden I'm not getting the luck. But yeah, like, hopefully by the time rewards come around, when I open those up, they can be nice for us. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, just get some nice new red players again this week, but most importantly, get some value in the actual packs. So we can sell Gnabry for a tiny loss, really. He actually sold instantly as well. So maybe I could have got a little bit more for him. So be it. He was useful for us, and of course we can put the right players back in the right spots again, knowing that we've basically completed all of the objectives and stuff for the UCL promo that I started on Tuesday night. Gnabry sells, and we can then actually move on and do the final SBC, which is Under the Spotlight, which required 2 UCL players. So I needed my first owner ones to get the objectives done, but now that I'm done with them, both Karnizis and Piatov, they can go into this SBC, no problem at all. I'll happily submit all of this stuff for a rare Electrum Players Pack and hopefully get something good from that. So I actually quite like the the method behind the madness, the thought process of, okay, so you can do marquee matchups. From that, if you maybe get blues, then that's good. If not, then you can score 6 goals in rivals, get a couple of blue players. Then that means you can then tackle the rest of the objectives. And after that, you can use them players in the final SBC. I actually quite like that method, and it took me a little while to get used to it. But if you do get kind of unfortunate like me, it does require you to go out onto the market and pick up a player. But like I said, like that's not too big of a deal. Like we sold Gnabry for pretty much what we bought him for, so it's just worked out a treat in the end. So yeah, the regular squad is looking like this. There's no real changes to be made. We are sitting on about 80,000 coins. Plus, of course, we have got Ousmane Dembele that I could be selling, Acuna that I could be selling as well, but I want both of those players as super subs for me. So really, I think it's all going to come down to just what we get in our rewards and stuff. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure about grinding for Edin Dzeko. I took a little look at the objectives again, and I just think it's going to be overly stressful and stuff for what it actually returns. So don't be surprised if the Dzeko objective doesn't get done by me. It's not a player that I'm particularly bothered about, and I think that's also a great point, right? There should be objectives which, if you're not interested in them, you shouldn't just do it for the sake of it. You know, if there was absolutely no content, then yeah, I'd probably grind towards that Dzeko. But we've had UCL stuff, we've had other Scream stuff, so I'm pretty happy with the stuff that's actually come out. We've managed to fill the episodes, of course, so I don't want to necessarily just grind for the grind's sake and start really hating the game just before the weekend league. Because that's not good for any of us, really, is it? So we'll end up getting a really bad result or something, and it will just be stressful. So yeah, guys, that is going to wrap up the episode for today. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, and I guess you can let me know if Dzeko's any good down below. If he's an absolute beast, then maybe it has to be done. But he's just not at the top of my priority list at the moment. And of course, don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe to the channel, all of that good stuff. But most importantly, have a wonderful day, everyone. I will catch you next time with another video. Peace.